Hey guys, I'm back with another update, a little faster than I thought I would have one. At the end of this video, I'll have a cab view from the Altoona yard there up around Horseshoe Curve, so that'll be kind of neat. I can't go around the whole layout yet because the little camera I'm using bumps into a couple structures, so I need need like a well car or something with a real low base to it to put this in. Anyways, I redid a ton of stuff through here. What I did is, if anyone remembers, I used to have those two brick buildings right there, and I had one arrival departure track behind that and the two main lines behind that, and I liked it, but it didn't really look right, and that may have been one reason why I kind of had some burnout, or maybe part of the reason why I felt burnout is because I kind of had a feeling like something didn't seem right about the layout. Something was kind of bothering me, but I couldn't figure it out, and I had figured it out, and since I changed it, I couldn't be more happier. This is probably the most excited I've been for one specific update in a long time. So I started with taking up some of this ballast. I had a right-handed switch right here, and that went to the track that went to the steel mill and the power plant. I took that out and put in a straight piece of track. This used to be the arrival departure track. I cut it out and I put in a left-handed switch, so now there's two arrival departure tracks, which works much better. I moved the main line along the back of that, so now all the tracks are together, and I thought about cleaning everything out of the yard and all the tracks that you can see here so I could show you a little better. But I realized there are so many tracks through here now. When everything's empty, it's impossible to figure out what is what without looking the whole way down at the switches. So I'll give you and I added a siding for the passenger train. I've added a ridiculous amount of stuff, and I moved stuff around, and I believe I added, I think I just added 2 tracks, but it looks so much better to me. So the Altoona station originally was going to be there. Well, no, now it's there. It originally was going to be over there where the coal bunker is. And now it's the station, the platform's here. There will be a couple pig holes, and the Altoona station will be right here, which I think will look pretty nice. I worked on this from about 3 p.m. Saturday to 9 p.m. and then 6:45 a.m. Sunday to 5:45 p.m. So I worked in here 11 hours Sunday, minus 30 minutes to eat lunch. So I spent literally 10.5 hours in here working non-stop. It took me 16.5 hours, 25-30 hours to do all that. And the biggest pain was over here in this corner. I had to relay these tracks because I had to take this curve turn out and move it back, and the radius on the outside curve is 22, inside is about 20. I didn't want to go any tighter, and since it's underneath that upper level, it's hard to reach in there and move it, so that was a big pain. But that took probably 5 hours. I got that done, and I really like this area through here. I don't know why. I just think it looks really neat having this track that goes to the yard here, and then the arrival departure tracks with that little curve along with the main line, the little curves in the main line. I don't know why, I just really like the way that looks. And of course the passenger siding, now a passenger train, I can store it on a siding, so I don't have to take it in, I don't have to park it in staging or over in Tyrone, the Tyrone loop, which gets used for a lot of things. I can just park it here at the station. Let's see, how do I want to do this? The new Altoona local starts here. This is the main line, westbound main line. there's a switch there and then a crossover because you jump across the track. Because if you remember, this whole layout is just one giant oval with the middles, pulled together so it looks like double track. So if I had a switch here to this and had a switch here, it would be a short because it'd be a reversing loop. So I cheat it by having a crossover, so you jump right across and you can get into the steel mill, and there's still going to be a track in the front that goes to the power plant, or for coal cars for the power plant. And then there will also be a track behind it that comes over here, and it'll go, one track will go here to that coaling tower with, there'll be oil storage tanks that'll be all for public consumption. And then of course here you got the little lumber yard, just another building. I'm not sure what this industrial building will be for just yet. And then what's the name of this? I think it's United Trucking, if I remember correctly, and that can hold another car. So I think I'll have this double-ended, so you can store the cars there, and you can do a run around and pick up a car, or maybe I'll have a little industry at the end of the switch. The switch isn't going to be exactly in that spot, but I'm pretty excited about it. And then behind that, on not that little piece of foam, but a big sheet of foam that height, 1 inch, will be the town of Altoona. So there'll be probably 2 rows of houses. There might be 10 or 12 houses from there the whole way over to about there. So that's the next thing I'm working on. Probably getting the track laid, because I kind of know what stuff is going in there, and at least getting a piece of foam cut out to put underneath there, and eventually some lighting. I also got to add more power to the track now that I redid parts of it. So now if you look, the layout is, there's I think like 15 tracks through here. It's unbelievable how much stuff I fit in here. And I feel like it looks pretty good. It doesn't look too cramped. Everything has its own use. So you got the front track, which is for it's just a runaround track, and it takes you to the Altoona depot, and then the other end takes you, of course, ties back into the arrival departure track and then the main line. But then it'll also go to Altoona Works, which is another project I'll be working on very soon. I just got to get more track and switches. And then these 3 tracks are westbound classification. These 3 are eastbound classification. These 2 are the local tracks. And then these 2 with the 2 long trains are the arrival departure. First one's westbound, second one's eastbound. So it correlates with the classification tracks. These 3 are westbound, these 3 are eastbound. This is westbound, that's eastbound. And then this empty track is mainline westbound. And of course you got the passenger siding here. Sorry. You got the passenger train siding here, passenger station, and then you have the, I guess this would be eastbound main line. So all in all, I have 4, 7, 9, 12, 13, 14 tracks through here, and then 15 if you count the track for the power plant that'll be along here. But it'll be a couple inches away. It'll be a little bit spread out. And then I'm gonna put I just smacked that. Luckily I didn't knock it over. I'm gonna put bushes here. I believe there's bushes on both sides of the station. I'll probably have a chain link fence somewhere in there. I might add another brick building to the background there. Haven't done anything else over here yet. There's not actually a whole lot to do right now. And I got the plaster cloth done on the curve, mostly done, so there's nothing for me to do over there just yet because I want to keep getting track work done. Tyrone I haven't done much to yet. I got to fix that siding. Cars tend to roll back onto the main line, which is no good. I'm going to test this out probably for a couple months. I probably need to test out all the new track work I did for a couple months. Let the track contract and expand. Wow, that's what I was trying to say. Let the track contract and expand so it moves a little bit. Let it settle into place better, and as long as everything continues to run well, then I will ballast it, because this is set in around 1952. It's all cinders in the yard, so there's really not going to be anything growing up through the cinders. Cinders basically kill everything, so this will all be black, and then the main line will be gray. So I can do ballast from here. I got to fix some holes here and there. From here the whole way over to the power plant and the steel mill. So that'll look pretty cool. I got to do some plaster cloth up there eventually, and then I'll work on the local there. And my next project, along with Altoona Works, will be staging. If anyone remembers, I'm changing the two-track staging yard to 3 on both levels, and I've figured out I can squeeze the switches back a little more on both ends so that the third track, since I'm adding a switch to 4 spots, 2 on the upper, 2 on the lower, I don't lose the maximum length of a train. I actually may gain I may gain a little bit of length to each staging track to allow me to have longer trains staged. And with 3 tracks on the upper and lower, it makes a world of a difference, because as long as there's 1 track free for a train to come in, I can have 2 trains staged on upper or lower. Or to start a session, and this would be huge, I can have 3 trains coming from the upper level and 3 from the lower level to start an operating session, which means I don't have to really do much of anything to begin with. I can run the yard and whatnot. Because of the facts, for some of them, for anything coming into the bottom level, the train pulls in, and then I run the engines around to the other end and move the cars. I kind of have to do that myself, because it's kind of a pain to ask people to do that themselves. It's a lot of work. So to be able to stage 6 trains would eat up probably the first hour of operations, meaning I can do a lot. I can do anything I want. I can run a helper district. I can do anything, really. I'm going to put tortoises in. There will be 2 tortoises there and 2 tortoises there. That'll make a huge difference as well. That's part of the issue. That was part of the issue before. I had the hand throws that I'd take a ruler and flip them myself. And you don't want to have to ask other people to do that when it's your layout. So I was doing that for people, which ate up time, because I got to look for the ruler. Half the time I forget where I put it. And sometimes I don't throw the switch right, or it's the wrong way and something derails. So putting tortoises would make a huge difference. Altoona Works, we're going to take this board off. Going to extend the platform out probably like 4 inches. I think that's all I can really do. Well, I suppose I could extend it more and have this curve around a little bit more, but 4 inches will work pretty well. You'll have the diesel fueling, steam engine, coal tower and water tower, maybe a little scrap yard, Altoona Works, turntable, not necessarily right there, 5-stall roundhouse. Altoona Works will look really cool as well. It'll kind of look like this area where you got a lot of tracks, but each and every one has its own use. It's not like they're just thrown in there randomly. I have like specific things that I still need, like the diesel refueling area, and an engine storage track might be another thing where I have room for a couple consists and a switcher or something like that. And now it gives me an excuse to buy more engines. 5-stall roundhouse, 3-stall diesel. Well, it's not actually for diesels. That's Altoona Works. That's the shop building where they work on engines, but I'll still probably store diesels in there. Yeah, so I got 8 places to store engines, along with the whole yard, which will usually having, you know, 1 or 2 switchers in there. I mean, now I have a nice excuse to get more engines eventually. And I'd really like to work on scenery. There's some people's layouts I watch that their scenery is impeccable. It's amazing, and I'm kind of just putting down like base scenery right now. I may come back and put a couple of lighter colors in the yard once I have the whole layout kind of done. So I'm kind of like really excited now to work on the layout, and I finally kind of have everything figured out the way all the track's going to get laid, except I still have the upper level to figure out, because that's another thing. I'm going to probably put some more tortoises in, but they'll be in the back under there, kind of like that one, so I'll be able to hide them from the view from the front, so it won't interfere with the Altoona village down below. I don't know if I'll have the helper district up there, so you can just take an engine out and run it to the end of the staging yard to help a train going down Horseshoe Curve, or if I'll have like a little industry area, like maybe a flour and feed mill, stuff like that. I'm not really sure yet, but that pretty much does it for this episode, other than the fact that once I'm done talking here, you'll see a cab view of a train running around part of my layout. But until then, I'll see you guys later, and it might not be too much longer before I have another update, depending on when the track and stuff comes in, and once I figure out exactly how I want Altoona Works to go. But until then, I'll see you guys later.